So let's work on this problem. We're supposed to evaluate this cotangent of cosine inverse square root of 3 over 3 and negative square root of 3 over 3. I'm going to define a few things, and I'm going to define it as follows. I'm going to say this expression is equal to theta, and that changes my question into something a little simpler. Let me make, I know I made it a little smaller, but I think it's hopefully you guys can still see. Okay, so now I need to look for cotangent of theta. I do know cosine inverse 1 minus square root of 3 over 3 is theta. So from that definition of inverse function, I can write this. I can write this. Now, I know cosine theta. I need to find cotangent theta. That's what the problem boils down to. Now, the problem is I don't have a direct way of getting cotangent theta. I can use the right trig identity to find sine theta and use sine and cosine to find cotangent theta. That's my best bet. So what's the right trig identity? Remember, cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta is equal to 1. I know cosine theta, so I know cosine squared theta, and I'm going to put it right here. So I replace cosine theta with negative square root of 3 over 3, and that turns out to be what? Negative 3 square root of 3 over 3 squared. Negative will become positive. When you square, the radical sign goes away. So here is what we get. We get this. Now I'm going to rewrite it as 1/3 because 3 divides 9. Now I'm going to subtract 1/3 from both sides. And I'm going to get 2/3. And that tells me sine theta has to be square root of 2/3. And don't forget plus minus. Now, I prefer to write it, well, I'll explain to you. Now, a couple of things to pay attention to right now. I am going to decide, I need to decide if it's plus or minus. Now, cosine is, when you are talking about inverse function, you're talking about the upper half, but since cosine is negative, it has to be in the second quadrant, the green quadrant, okay? In the green quadrant, sine is positive, okay? So theta is in the second quadrant and sine is positive in the second quadrant. So I'm going to take the positive one. I'm going to do one more thing, guys. I'm going to write it as follows. Okay, sine theta is square root of 2 over square root of 3. Now, having said that, I'm almost done. I know the value of cosine theta. I know the value of sine theta, and let's highlight them a little bit, okay, just so that we know what we are focusing on right now. I'm interested in cotangent theta. That's what I'm interested in. So I need this value. These are not my answers, but they will help me get to the answers. To the answer, actually, there's only going to be one. I'm going to write cotangent. This is, let's see. This is an important part of the problem and a new kind of a new start. So put a line over there. Let's put a line over there. And we're going to say cotangent theta is equal to cosine theta divided by sine theta. Oops, I'm sorry. Okay, now I know most of the things. I know cosine theta. Actually, I know everything I need to know. Cosine theta is negative square root of 3 divided by 3. And the whole thing, and I'm going to put my minus sign here just to be consistent. It really doesn't matter for this problem, but I put it there. Okay. Now this, if you cancel, I'm going to show you here a little bit. You're going to flip and multiply. Well, let's do it here. Let's do the flip and multiply here. So I have negative square root of 3 divided by 3. And I'm going to multiply it. I'm just going to use parentheses, guys. I have to flip the second fraction. Okay, square root of 2 divided by square root of 3. I'm going to write square root of 3 divided by square root of 2. Now what happens? Now what happens? Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3, and this 3, they cancel. Okay? And I made a tiny error. Let's go fix it. I just caught myself. This is radical sine 2. So these guys cancel. And if you really want me to write a line, I'll be happy to. The top becomes 3. The bottom becomes 3 times this. And 3 and 3 cancel. 1 over square root of 2 is your answer. And your answer is positive. Need a little extra room here. Hope you can see the whole thing. And let's use a rectangle to identify the answer. This is your answer, 1 over square root of 2, positive.